was taking a lot of time off, just chilling, getting big. I wasn't all the way into boxing. I had 1 foot in and 1 foot out. It wasn't 2 feet in. I wasn't doing the things that, got me there, to that point.
Breaking news out of Dallas where a bad rollover crash has happened.
Yeah, we're told it involves a champion boxer.
The driver in that crash is Errol Spence Jr. Fortunately, that driver is expected to survive, we're told, but right now, he is in ICU.
I don't remember the night of the crash or 3 weeks after the crash. It was like blank. It took me probably like a couple months to watch it. It definitely put a lot of things in perspective. When it's your time, it's your time. I'm still here.
Perhaps nothing says boxing like resilience. It's baked into the sweet science. This existential, unescapable notion that get knocked down is part of the job description. And that what separates elite fighters is not their rise, but their response to whatever falls away. In an anticipated clash of two champions, their stories are built on scar tissue.
Boxing's pride of Dallas, Errol Spence.
For Errol Spence Jr., greatness seemed predestined as the knockouts piled up.
Errol Spence Jr. smelling blood now on the attack. It is all Errol Spence Jr. One of the deepest divisions in the sport has a new superstar. Errol Spence is the truth.
But a brutal, life-threatening car accident interrupted his meteoric rise, forcing a boxer known as the truth to find answers.
The car accident might have snapped me back into reality, got me back on the right track.
For Yordenis Ugas, known as 54 Milagros, it took a series of defection attempts to escape Cuba, to find freedom, and, beyond that, his way.
Todo con trabajo duro, disciplina, con mucha fe, las cosas pueden cambiar que uno no se puede imaginar. Y terminé increíble, la vuelta que da la vida.
Right hand sends Robinson crashing to the canvas.
Ugas feels like destiny is within his grasp.
When Spence and Ugas collide on April 16th,
the winner will walk away with 3 of the welterweight belts.
Many will highlight their differences in style, origin story, and pedigree. But what's important is what they share. What's important is what they fought through and what they came back from.
He came over here for American dream, and that's what he's been fighting for.
Wow. Tremendo las cosas que pasamos nosotros los cubanos, no es fácil.
Two lives that have spun in so many directions, ultimately wrapped around to the same challenge. What happens after you face death and win?
Growing up, never touched any horses, never touched a goat, chicken, cows, nothing like that.
Got any more bird food?
As a kid, that was never in my plans. Living in a high rise, basically in the uptown area, in the middle of everything, it's clubs, bars, basically the nightlife is right there. The whole switch definitely was something that I needed and I wanted. It was 2 in the morning. I was looking on Zillow, man, I want that home.
We'll feed him 5 to 6 times a day. Sometimes more. Drinking too fast.
Then my dad, he was like, you sure you want to live here? Just a lot of work. I was like, yeah, I want to live here. I seen on the internet that horses, they're super therapeutic. A lot of people like them and they want them, especially when they go through traumatic experiences or something happen,
Come here, baby. After my accident, that was my first time even getting on a horse or riding a horse. I got the light horse, I got that one. His name is Ferrari. I got her on the anniversary of my accident, so I was like, I'm gonna name it Ferrari. Money, cars, jewelry, you know, the so-called, I guess, American dream, that appeal to people. They gonna flock to that. Like, nah, that's not it. And, you know, I just wanna show my kids something different.
Getting thrown from a Ferrari has a way of making a man reconsider his priorities. When that man is Errol Spence Jr., no matter how traumatic the detour, the destination must still be reached.
Sometimes, you know, I'll be like, why am I doing this? I hit the bag in the gym and like my tendons hurting, his body, neck hurting. I can't explain it, just something in me, just like, you know, I survived for a reason. I don't want my kids growing up think it's okay to quit.
Tonight in a remarkable return to the ring,
Less than 14 months after the crash, Spence climbed back into the ring to defend his titles against Danny Swift Garcia and prove something deeply personal.
My thing is I don't take tune-ups. I had that much confidence in myself to say I am the same fighter. Let me fight Danny Garcia. And let me show you that I am not a shell of myself. I am still the top fighter.
That night, Spence added another big name to his big game resume.
and still
The win also set up a career-defining bout against the one and only Manny Pacquiao. But there was another twist he didn't see coming.
We have breaking news here at CBS Sports HQ. Errol Spence Jr. is not going to be fighting Manny Pacquiao a week from Saturday. He won't be fighting Pacquiao at all.
In the closing days of camp, with a massive opportunity tantalizingly close, Spence heard a pop in sparring and noticed a shadow creeping into the corner of his left eye. Doctors diagnosed a detached retina that would require surgery and the cancellation of his dream bout.
I was talking with him like, what you mean I can't fight? I like, it's a week out. He was like, yo, man, you can really lose your eye. Like, you can lose your eye permanently. Like, you won't have an eye anymore, and I can't let you do that. Thinking now, I'm grateful that he did do that. My left eye is actually way stronger than my right eye now. Okay, it got 2 buckles on it, so holding it in place, so it's super strong, so. You know, everything happens for a reason. I feel like with every bad thing, it's a good thing too. It's just how you put that in perspective.
Esto es lo más importante que yo hablo mañana. Lo más sagrado.
Ha sido un camino increíble. Ha sido un viaje, wow. Han pasado muchas cosas malas. Tuve 9 años sin ver a mi mamá. Es así la vida, la vida no es fácil. Pero lo que nosotros tenemos que seguir luchando y estar agradecidos y seguir luchando cada día por ser el mejor hombre, que es lo que me toca a mí.
Yordenis Ugas wakes up every morning and counts his blessings. From where he started
Mi favorito, un paté. Empate Philly.
to where he is today, there's a lot of sweat behind the sparkle and joy.
¡Showdown! La gente Showdown se metió en la cueva del lobo. Vinieron a grabarme a mí y yo soy el que lo estoy grabando a él.
Of course, Ugas would savor this moment,
Y esta,
headlining a second blockbuster in 7 months. He's even filming a show about the people who are filming a show about him. It's not meta. He's simply that happy. To be sure, everything Ugas has comes from a superhuman talent for boxing and a dedication to his craft. That doesn't mean fortune hasn't smiled upon him. Last August, after Spence withdrew from the Pacquiao fight, Ugas stepped in on 11 days' notice, putting his belt on the line against a legend of the sport.
Introducing 54 Milagros,
The reigning WBA welterweight champion of the world. This is the moment of Ugas' life tonight for Pacquiao. He's done this many times over again.
Soy un peleador peleando a los 6 años. Yo sabía que no me iba a achicar.
It was a competitive fight, with Ugas using swift maneuvering and a strong jab to control the distance. But Manny was still relentlessly Manny.
Manny Pacquiao obviously has the faster hands, and now he's unloading.
Quería dar lo mejor de mí.
Esta pelea es tuya.
As the fight went on, Ugas made clear that he was the stronger and younger fighter.
Ugas feels like destiny is within his grasp. What a fight.
Esa noche sorprendí al mundo.
The winner and still champion, Yordenis Ugas.
What a monumental moment for Yordenis Ugas as he shocks the world and decisions Manny Pacquiao here in Las Vegas.
I got big dreams, baby, I can't let go. You see these big rings, solid 24K go. Yo creo que voy a soltar mucho en la mente. All they do is talk, no me importa la gente. I got big dreams, baby, I can't let go. You see these big rings, solid 24K go.
With an icon retired, Ugas suddenly held surging momentum that netted this unification bout against Spence. On April 16th, another triumph would catapult Ugas into boxing's rarest air.
Bueno, algo grande para mí. Una pelea grande contra un buen peleador. Y una victoria, sería una de las victorias más grandes en la historia para el boxeo cubano. Primer peleador cubano unificando 3 cinturones. Estoy bien emocionado. Esta pelea, hay muchas cosas en juego.
Fighting Ugas here in Dallas, I think that a lot of people may not even be boxing fans, but because it's at the Cowboy Stadium, because it's Errol Spence, because it's Jerry Jones at the press conference and everything, I think that it becomes an event. We have a lot of fanfare, and we love it.
In Texas, confidants sometimes call each other partner, and that's exactly what Derek James has been to Errol Spence. A longtime fixture on the local boxing scene, James began training Spence when the fighter was 16 years old. Through it all, the belts snagged and the blows taken, they've been together, same as now.
All the doubters and the naysayers with the eye injury and the car accident are just like things that motivate him. And I like the way he's pushing himself, and I like the way he's getting prepared because, I mean, Ugas is a heck of a fighter. And at the same time, I mean, he's very intelligent, so you just have to be smart. Errol and I met, I went to watch him at a tournament. I sat in the stands, and his dad was in the stands videoing the fight. And I said, man, look at him, he keeps doing the same thing over and over again. Just kept doing double jab left, just the same to punch over and over. And his dad was like, you think you can help him? I was like, yeah, I can.
When my dad came to me about it, I was like, nah, I was like, I'm cool. My dad was like, nah, you need this. I'll pay you to work with him. And I was like, yeah, for real? It's only $20, like, that's a lot of money. So like, all right, I'll work out with him.
Upon meeting, the partners embarked on a soon-to-be rapid rise that started in the amateurs. And right away, their pairing produced success that hinted at the greatness to come.
my arsenal just started changing. I started getting better and showing different skill sets and different abilities that I didn't have before. I seen the results, and I'm beating guys up that I was getting beat up by in sparring. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep working out with him. And I didn't tell him he had to pay me. He just stopped paying me because I stopped asking for it. If anybody should get MVP for my career, it should be my dad, because he basically guided me to the directions I needed to go, even with Derrick James, to where I needed to be to become, you know, who I am now. I'm gonna give myself credit too, because I listened.
I'll say that he had it, he just didn't know it was in there. I just enhanced it, and hey, the rest is history.
The truth revealed himself quickly, decisively, unquestionably. With 21 knockouts in 27 fights, he ran through a welterweight gauntlet, knocking out Kell Brook, stopping Lamont Peterson, and defeating Mikey Garcia and Sean Porter, while turning hints of greatness into facts.
It's over! Errol Spence Jr. has done it! The truth hurts!
Esta foto, ay, tenía ahí 6, 7 años, ganando mi primer campeonato. Esta foto fue en Rusia en el 2005. Aquí estaban las expansiones ya. Esto fue en el 2006, en Cartagena, India, en unos Juegos Centroamericanos. Aquí con mi mamá. Ahí había campeón mundial y eso. Eso en Cuba. Aquí, siempre bien vestido. Ahí tenía 5 años. Crecí en un barrio, casi todos los barrios en Cuba son pobres, sobre todo donde yo vivo en Santiago de Cuba. De los 6 años comencé el boxeo, me fui a una beca como a los 12 años.
¡La victoria!
After Fidel Castro banned prize fighting some 61 years ago, a nation of fighters boxed only for pride. The Cuban school is known for its regimented approach and unprecedented success on the world stage.
Y soñaba con ser campeón mundial, con ir a las Olimpiadas. Ese sueño que uno tiene en Cuba. Uno no sueña con ser profesional ni ser campeón profesional. Uno sueña solamente los amateurs, solamente los aficionados, porque en Cuba solamente es los aficionados.
After securing a bronze medal at the Beijing Games in 2008, Ugas decided to defect, knowing, like all elite Cuban amateurs, that greater opportunity lay elsewhere. 6 times he tried, and 6 times he failed, each capture leading to imprisonment. After a year of failed escapes, he finally made it out in 2010.
Tuve 2 días en una lancha, no, difícil, 2 días completos, 2 días y algo en el mar, con lluvia, con viento, con trueno, muy feo. Y wow, una experiencia bien mala, bien difícil. Muchos murieron en el mar, muchos en la historia han muerto en el mar. Gracias a Dios, yo fui uno de los que pude llegar con vida a México y llegar a la frontera a salvo. Gracias a Dios. Llegué a la tierra de libertad. Tenía 2 cosas, ser un believer y ser un campeón del mundo. En 2 años y medio, ser un campeón, y las cosas se complicaban.
It took more than a decade for Ugas to become a champion. And he did, in part thanks to fellow Cuban Ismael Salas, the exact person Ugas needed to guide him on a remarkably uphill climb.
Desde que comenzamos a trabajar juntos, siempre fuimos underdog. Y ese es el blessing que tenemos nosotros. Yo pienso que el equipo de Pacquiao miró a Ugas de bajo nivel y cometieron un error. Es lo que han cometido mucho. Lo mismo puede pasar ahora con Spence.
Muy bien. Bien, Ugas.
when I'm working out and stuff. I like being around people and like seeing different things. I got a treadmill in my garage. And my girl had bought me the treadmill for my birthday. She was like, you never use it. She was like, I always buy you stuff for your birthday and stuff, you never use it. So I don't really like running by myself. Like just looking at people and just looking at different things like that. Like that's what I like. I like being around people.
Boxing might be the only thing about Errol Spence that's abnormal. Otherwise, he's a champion without entourage, a star without bling, a guy who is in fact normal, and not normal at all.
Some people like walk up to me and want to take a picture and things like that. They'll be like, what's up? Because I've been coming up here a while. People ask me, am I Errol Spence? It depends on who it is. But sometimes if I don't feel like being bothered, I'll be like, nah. And they be like, man, you look just like him. I'll be like, yeah, I get that all the time. I understand I'm not a regular person. People can regularly see me at Walmart or Costco's or whatever. They can see me, you know, with my family, walking, buying groceries, shopping, whatever. You know, I'm not one of those guys, you know, come in at a certain time or, you know, tell the store owner I'm coming in so they can shut the place down or whatever, you know. I like being amongst people and just, you know, being a regular person. Ooh, sweet potatoes. Get you, man. Made a mess. 2 more years, you won't be in a diaper.
Even with a pivotal fight approaching, dad duty never ends, not even for diaper changes between rounds, which is how young Errol Spence III, aka Dallas, learns something about multitasking from his not yet old man. The boy's name and his moniker speak to his father's roots, Texas forever, and family above all.
Let's go, Stinky man. Hey, you better be hot in the gym.
They're my motivation. So why not have my kids there, you know, motivating me? It's not a distraction. They can actually say, I'm in the gym with my dad, or I grew up watching my dad train. They're seeing firsthand hard work. I'm not gonna take that away from them.
Dad, look, Bob. He's been in the gym before he was able to walk. Come on, Bob. He really don't pick up the gloves that much. He really picks up the mitts, so he's a little confused. I don't know if he want to be a coach or a boxer.
Whether Errol III follows his father into the ring or not, it's clear that family is a large part of the champ's routine. Punishing work days are only made brighter by keeping the faces dearest to him close by. And today, like most days, one of his 2 daughters, Violet, gets a small taste of the family business.
I'm trying to get them the best life possible without spoiling them. I mean, I don't know if that's possible.
Hey, Pop, make sure you keep him away from that pit bucket.
I'm basically saying the same thing that my mom and dad said.
Come on, big girl. You shot like your daddy. Come on.
You see a lot of great athletes never in their kid's life because they was always, you know, focused on being that great athlete. I can't picture me being away from my kids. I want them to be able to look at me and be like, he's not only, you know, a superhero to some people, but he's a superhero to us too because he's always there. I want to be a great athlete and a great father for my kids.
Good job. Give me a high five. I knew you could do it.
Junior,
Papá.
¿cómo te estás? ¿Cómo tú estás? ¿Qué tú haces? No te veo. No te veo. Tuve mi niño con autismo. ¿Cómo fue la escuela esa hoy?
Papá.
¿Cómo fue esa escuela hoy? Él vive en Miami. ¿Cómo? ¿Cómo fue? Siempre hace falta niños ahí. ¿No te veo? Aquí en el campamento se le extraña mucho siempre.
Uno siempre dice, de verdad, ¿por qué? Sobre todo con el autismo del niño, uno siempre dice, ¿por qué? Pero cuando Dios hace cosas buenas, tú no le preguntas por qué. Es así la vida, la vida no es fácil.
A ver lo que tú comes. A ver la boca. A ver la boca. Oh my God, ¿qué es eso? ¿Qué tú comes?
y ha sido una bendición para mí. Y nació, yo estaba, wow, yo no lloraba nunca, tuve años sin echar una lágrima. Desde que nació mi hijo, es fácil llorar para mí, como emocionalmente, eso uno lo necesita.
Dale un beso a papá, un beso a papi, un beso así.
Los caminos no son planos. Los caminos, hay muchas curvas. Pero lo bueno siempre salen adelante cuando tú luchas fuerte en la vida. Bueno, al final se triunfa como lo he hecho yo, gracias a Dios.
In boxing, the sport where combatants circle inside of a square, there are, in fact, very few straight lines. That's true of fighters who shift, circle, and slide. And that's especially true for this fight.
It's a legacy fight. I'm fighting Ugas, who took my chance, to be a living legend like Manny Pacquiao. So, I owe him double.
For Yordenis Ugas, a last-minute phone call along his serpentine route changed the paradigm and yielded a bout long desired.
Vamos para la pelea más importante de Yordenis Ugas. Y a la hora que suene la campana, el hombre va a comérselo. Eso es que no quede duda.
For Errol Spence Jr., a straight path turned curvy, built fortitude, strength that would be tested by calamitous events. His response, not just protecting his legacy, but redefining it.
I'm the best fighter at 147 pounds, arguably the best fighter in the world. I just feel like, I'm gonna win this fight. It's gonna be a great one-sided show.
And so, two champions will lock horns on April 16th. The winding nature of their sport informs how they ended up in the same place. Because both know, after everything, that the most gratifying way forward isn't always a straight line. Don't miss Spence versus Ugas, Saturday, April 16th, live on Showtime pay-per-view.